Hi guys, if you haven't already bought yourself a full bottle of Imperial Peacock by Alexandre J, highly discounted, then you're totally missing out. This is a fragrance that I featured in the Scent Club kit almost a year and a half ago, a favorite fragrance of mine, a really awesome, super sexy, gourmand-esque fragrance. And you can find these now for $190 for 100 ml. Normally, full retail, suggested retail is $380. So you're missing out if you haven't already bought it. It's currently selling at the discounter, and these also make really great gifts because these bottles are so super gorgeous, and it's full presentation, as you can see here. Comes in really awesome presentation, and definitely a fragrance you need to have in your collection, especially if you bought one of our kits that featured this fragrance. I've spoken quite a bit about Imperial Peacock. It's so super sexy. And you need this in your collection, not for yourself, maybe for yourself, or maybe for gift giving, as I think it makes for a great gift. But almost $200 off for this at the discounter. You need to have it in your collection. Why is it really great? You know, I find this fragrance to be gourmand, but slightly bordering like a slight fougere kind of a touch to it. And I find it to be super sexy because it's got this really sexy musk in the notes breakdown as well. And even though it kind of sounds like it might be a holiday style, spicy, almondy kind of gourmand, I think it's done in a way, the presentation is super refined and just awesomely gorgeous, and it smells so awesome. And again, the bottle is also really gorgeous looking bottle. I think this will display really nicely on a counter or a dresser or something. Really super gorgeous presentation, I think, and definitely deserves to be in your collection. Let me know if you bought a Scent Club kit that featured Imperial Peacock. It was launched in 2022. I actually sampled this at the Javoy boutique in Paris. I think probably around the time it was put out. And I went through a collection of fragrances from this house in similar looking bottles. Really gorgeous bottles, as I keep saying. This one really stood out for me. Instantly loved it. And I had to have myself a bottle. So I have it. I've been enjoying it. And of course, as I said, I featured in the Scent Club kit. But I'm finding stock out there at the discounters. And this is like almost $200 off from suggested retail $380. Neiman Marcus sells this for $380. But 100 ml for $190 at the discounter, as I said, is so awesome. A great discount. Let me tell you a little bit about the fragrance itself. It's featuring notes of almonds. There's rhubarb, there's heliotrope, there's tonka beans, there's cinnamon, sugar, black vanilla, musk, balsamic notes. You've gotten your nose on this, right? You got the kit. That kit sold out. People really fell in love with it. In fact, we do have some individual samples from our kits for that fragrance, and people keep coming back to it and buying up samples from it. But this fragrance, it's super awesome. So it sounds like it's going to be super heavy gourmand, like really intense sugary. It's not. There's such a refinement about it. I really love it. So it doesn't get too sticky gourmand. It's just a perfect balance. But what I love about this, it's the DNA that the perfumer that uses in the fragrances that she creates. It's awesome the way this fragrance is created. And also, I mentioned that it kind of reminds me a little bit of an amber fougere. Something aromatic comes up in this, and they don't mention lavender, but to me, it acts a bit like a very light amber fougere style fragrance. Because in the end, you've got these kind of ambery, vanillic notes, sweeter notes, but you've kind of got a contrast of aromatics in there that I feel like there's lavender in here or something aromatic lavender-like to give me that kind of an idea or a feel. But really, one of the best fragrances from this house. It's my favorite fragrance from this house. That's why I featured it in a Scent Club kit. But the price is quite expensive. It's really an expensive fragrance. $380 for this, and it comes in a presentation like this. But as I was saying, it's currently $190. Not only does this make a great gift, but it's a great gift for yourself as well. I think I'm going to buy myself another bottle because I've been kind of very conservative with the usage. But now that I see it for sale for such a great price, I think this one's going to go home with me. And I'm going to get the new one for videos here in the studio. The only confusing thing, this does say it's a 120 ml bottle, but I believe these fragrances are 100 ml. I don't know what that's all about. Because this one I have does say 100 ml. And they are the same exact size bottle. They are glass, by the way. The cap is not glass. At least I don't think it is. No, it doesn't feel glass. But yeah, get yourself a bottle before the promotion or the discount runs out. Because once it does, when you go to Neiman Marcus, this is $380. Yes, it comes with this big presentation, but $190 is much better than $380. And again, that's almost $200 off. I'm going to tell you a little bit more. Oh, it's so good. This is so good. Super sexy. Super, super sexy. I'm going to tell you a little bit more about a few other fragrances from the house because there's a selection of fragrances. But let me tell you a little bit about how I discovered this house. I first discovered this house with a fragrance called Zafeer Oud Vanille. So I've had this one. This one's not at the discounter, unfortunately. I actually bought this from Javoy in Paris many years ago, way many years ago. It's a kind of a creamy, coconutty vanilla fragrance with the idea of oud. It was fairly inexpensive for a long time. I think the prices on these fragrances have gone up since I bought this. I think I bought this like around 2017 or 2018, somewhere around there. Let me know if you're familiar with this one. This is actually more of a, like, look at the bottles. These bottles are much beautiful, the glass ones, compared to these. It's a bit more Montal-esque. But it's a vanilla. It's super creamy, not super sweet. It's coconutty. And also the idea of oud is back there. But this one's not at the discounter, but similar fragrances to this collection are at the discounter. I'll link them up in the info box. Actually, if you want to buy any of these fragrances, they'll be linked up within the video and you can click on them and get them. And the one I highly recommend is Imperial Peacock. Get it before it runs out. It's totally worth it. Highly recommend it. Just want to also say about this fragrance, it's not super beast mode, but it's a perfect balance of the way the fragrance wears on skin. I love it. The smell is super sexy. So let me tell you a little bit about two other fragrances from this house that are also at the discounter. I do have a bottle of Black Beetle here. I'll show you right here. These bottles are just beautiful bottles. Really super beautiful. But the first time I saw this collection was in 2022, and I had just gone traveling again. The first time I had gone to Javoy for a long time, post-pandemic. So this collection was just put out, and Black Beetle was out there at the same time. I think there was only 4 at the time. This one, totally, like right away, instant love. This one actually is also fairly nice. I think the winner for me is Imperial Peacock, but this one actually kind of has a overdose of patchouli. It's kind of more earthy, woody, but sweet and fruity as well. This is currently going for 100 ml, $200. Normally it's $380. So it's almost, 50% off. Both of these are almost 50% off. The collection is Eau de Parfum. This is incense, raspberry, nutmeg, chili, patchouli, musk, woody notes. And the chili in this is a nice contrast to the fruitiness of the raspberry. And it's a realistic chili. It's not super like in your face, like overdone. Nice contrast to the sweetness. But I like the patchouli in this. And it's also nicely blended with the patchouli and the chili. But there's other spices. It's a bit smoky. Once again, there's musk. These fragrances are created by Amelie Bourgeous from Flair. I think that's why I kind of like them. I love the DNA they use. They really make some great fragrances. Super sexy fragrances. This is spicy, earthy. Oops, the cap just fell off. Spicy, earthy, woody, fruity, and maybe lightly citrusy. But there's sweetness there. For sure, it's got ambery touches. Let me show you a little bit of the name right there. It says Alexandre J, and that's the design. You can't really see it that well with the The Imperial Peacock, I guess you can. The Alexandre J is right there. But the Imperial Peacock is so, so good. Let me show you one more. It's an extract of Oriental Enigma. That's this one right here. This one came out a year after these first two fragrances. But the version that's on the discounter is not the extract. It's the original in this size, 100 ml. But the only one I have here is the extract to talk to you about. And if you're ever in the market for extracts of the other two fragrances, they do have them. But I don't find them at the discounter. The extracts are stronger, longer lasting. And of course, they come in smaller bottles. And the presentation is also smaller. This in the original size, 100 ml, is $180. There's also a tester of the Oriental Enigma for $160. Let me give you a little bit more idea of how this one smells. And let me give you the notes breakdown. It's hibiscus, hazelnuts, dates, saffron, and vanilla. So it's super nutty, a bit, lots of powder actually. It's very powdery and also a bit sticky. Like the texture of dates, you can smell it here in the fragrance. But slightly under there, there's a bit of saffron, like a little leathery touch. So it's sweet, spicy, nutty, powdery. It's good. Really, really great. But for me, hands down, you must have a bottle of Imperial Peacock in your collection. I think it's not only a beautiful bottle, it's an awesome scent. Good enough to feature in a Scent Club kit. Remember, the Scent Club kit fragrances are only fragrances that I really, really enjoy. So if you haven't gotten your bottle of Imperial Peacock, make sure you do. So that's basically all I have for you guys today in this video. But I also want to mention that the mystery box is out. We have one mystery box that's running right now, and it's almost completely sold out. So if you haven't gotten your mystery box, look for that as well. I have that linked in the info box. Check that out. But really highly recommend Alexandre J's Imperial Peacock. It's definitely one of the best. Hands down, super awesome, super delicious, super sexy fragrance. And you definitely need one in your collection. I know the presentation is a bit over the top big. Let me tell you a little bit more. Let me show you a little bit more, I should say. It comes in a presentation like this. Whoops. Like this. Yeah, it's a bit over the top. There's some information. There's actually a nice rag you can wipe your bottle down with. And I'll show you how the bottle fits in there. Like that. There you go. That's it. Anyway, thanks so much for watching today, guys. Let me know if you've already discovered Alexandre J's Imperial Peacock. I'm sure if you bought the kit, you probably discovered this fragrance. It's a pricey fragrance, but I think it's totally worth it for that discount. I think the discounted price is so, so awesome. And also, these make great gifts. I already have a gift for my mom. I was thinking I'd get one for her, but I'm going to skip this one for her. But these do make really awesome gifts. Anyway, thanks so much for watching today's video, guys. Let me know your thoughts on the House of Alexandre J. Were you a fan of Zafeer Oud Vanille? I think this is probably, or was, one of the most popular. But I think Alexandre J's Imperial Peacock is definitely deserving of some love if you haven't already discovered it. Let me know if you're a fan of it. Add a comment below. Thanks so much for watching, and don't forget the mystery box as well. We're almost out of the mystery box, so get yours before we completely run out. Last drop we had, a lot of people came forward and said, I missed out. Are you going to drop any more? Yeah, once we run out, we're completely running out. There will not be another mystery box until spring. So, and it's winter hasn't even arrived yet. Soon, but very, very soon. But the next mystery box won't come until spring. So last few mystery boxes. But thanks so much for watching today. If you have any questions or comments, list below. Please like the video and share it, and I'll be back with more videos very soon. Have a good one. Bye-bye. Actually wrote down the list of all the fragrances that we're selling at the discounter, and I forgot to mention it, so I'm mentioning it here. So I already mentioned Imperial Peacock. That's a must-have. There's also Butterfly, which I don't really know very well, so it's selling. and highly discounted once again. I already mentioned Oriental Enigma, but I have the extract only, but the discounter only has it in the 100 ml. There's also two fragrances I'm not familiar with, in addition to the butterfly that I'm not familiar with as well. Majestic Nard, Ode to Rose. Those are available in the 100 ml. And Black Beetle also comes in an extract, but the Majestic Nard and Ode to Rose also come as extract. Anyway, just so you know, there's a few other Alexandre J fragrances out there. Get your bottles, but must have Imperial Peacock. See you later. Bye-bye.